Alright, in this video I'm going to show you many different ways to move and copy both data and formulas within Microsoft Excel. And remember, you can find step-by-step instructions on my website, luthermaddy.com. So I'm going to begin with a first quarter produce sales worksheet. Now in this case I have some different produces that we're selling, and then I have recorded the January sales values. Now, the first step in moving and copying, and this is kind of basic, but I'm actually going to give you a couple different methods to do this as well. The first thing you have to do is select the cells that you want to move or copy. So let's just say for some bizarre reason I want to take the produce types, apples all the way down to oranges and including the total, and for some reason I just want to move that or copy that over to column E. Well, to move or copy, the first thing I have to do is select the cells that I want to move or copy. Now, we can do that with both the keyboard and the mouse. I'm going to give you both methods here, but just a very simple basic thing, a very beginning feature that you need to be aware of here. When you're in a cell and your mouse is pointing to a particular cell, the mouse pointer can take two different shapes. It can look like, in this case, what I like to describe as the fat white plus, or if you're at the bottom right hand corner of the cell, it becomes what I'd like to describe the skinny black plus. Now of course that's called the fill handle, and that has a very powerful purpose that we'll describe here in just a second. But if you're going to select cells, you want to make sure that you use the fat white plus. So in this case you can see that all of them are highlighted in gray with the exception of the one that I started with. If I had messed up and actually used the fill handle, I'm going to end up with lots and lots of apples. So there we've discovered a very quick and easy way to copy cells or copy data using the fill handle, which we'll cover here in just a second. Now we can also select text using the keyboard, and sometimes if your hand is on the keyboard you just want to go ahead and keep them there. Now in order to select text or cells, in this case using the keyboard, I hold the shift key down and then I simply move. So in this case, to select those same cells, I just use the shift key and the down arrow. Alright, once I've got the cells that I want selected, the next step is to select whether move or copy. Now if I want to copy, I can just select the copy command. One quick easy way to do it is on the ribbon. I can move to the destination and then I can choose paste. And there I have an exact copy of what I started with. Nothing changed. And that's important for a concept to understand when we get ready to copy formulas. Alright, next I want to show you another way to move or copy. Now if I were going to move this, I could choose cut and paste. I can also, once I have the cell selected that I'm working with, I can right click to display the shortcut menu, and from there I can choose either cut or copy. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose cut this time. Now when I choose cut, notice that if you've done this in Microsoft Word, the text disappears, whatever text you have selected. In this case it doesn't disappear until the command is completed, and that's actually a good thing. Saves you from losing data accidentally. So you can see the highlighted moving marquee around the cells that are selected, or in this case going to be cut. Then I can go ahead and go to paste, and now I've moved them. Alright, well let's assume in this case I really want to move them back where they were. Well, I've shown you two methods so far. Let's assume that I want to use another method using the mouse. Well, if the cells that I want to move are highlighted, which they should be if I'm going to choose the cut or the copy command or use the right click, I can actually go to the edge of the highlighted cells. I get kind of a crosshair and an arrow, a little bit different shape with my mouse than what I saw earlier. Then I can go ahead and just drag it where I want to be. So now we've seen the tools on the ribbon, we've seen the shortcut and with the right click, and we've also seen a way to drag. Now if I wanted to copy and drag, what I do is I go to the same location, but I hold down the Control key. When I hold down the Control key, I see a slightly different shape with my mouse pointer, and then I can go ahead and click and drag. This time I've copied rather than moved. Okay, well, I can do an undo here really quick and easily here if I don't really want those copied there. Alright, now I want to talk a little bit about copying formulas. When I copy formulas, notice in this case that my formula is summing up B4 through B8. Well, if I copy that, let's assume, as I'm going to have here in just a second, I have a column for February and a column for March. I don't want the formula copied over here to sum up column B. Well, the cool thing about that is, of course, when you copy formulas, they adjust to the new home. Let's go ahead and prove that, though. I'm just going to go show you another method to cut, and paste using the keyboard. So in this case, I really only want to move this one particular cell, or let's say copy this one particular cell. If I have that cell highlighted, which it is, I can use the Ctrl+C, the keyboard shortcut, to do that. Then I can go to the destination and I can paste it with Ctrl+V. Now, you'll notice there's no numbers here. I hit escape key to get rid of that flashing marquee. I'll bring that back later here. That's a quick way to get rid of it. When you're done copying cells, you can just hit the escape key. But if I click in this cell, notice that it has sum C4 through C8. So it has adjusted to the new home, the new row. So just to make this really simple here, I'm going to copy. Let's use Ctrl+C again. Notice I have the marquee here. I'm going to paste with Ctrl+V. Notice the marquee stays. And as long as I don't do something else, if I'm continuing to paste, it will continue to paste for me. So I'm going to go ahead and paste again. Now I have the same numbers, and you'll notice that the total, I'm going to hit the escape key now because I'm done copying here. Notice that the total for this next month, that will be February, is still 3432. Well, I'm going to change a cell value here to 500. And of course you see that the sum of column B and the sum of column C are quite different. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy this one more time with a copy and paste, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. And now I have, and I'm going to go ahead and change one more number here, make it 900, 800. Okay, so now we have three different totals. Again, because when I copied the formulas, they adjusted. Sometimes we don't want that to happen, and that's when we use the absolute reference, and you can watch a video of mine that explains that very, very clearly. Now, there's one other way to copy, and that's with the fill handle. Now, I'm just going to delete all these values here just for fun and show you how easy it is to use the fill handle. The fill handle allows you first to select what you want to copy, but then with one dragging motion, again using the fill handle, which is the bottom right corner with the skinny black plus, as I like to call it in my beginning Excel classes, now I can drag over to wherever I want it to go, and it copied. Now I'm going to go ahead and change those numbers again, just so I have some different numbers here. The other cool thing about the fill handle, though, is that if it recognizes what's in the cell that you're dragging, in this case January, it does recognize that as an abbreviation for January. If I use the fill handle and drag it, it will adjust automatically for me. Okay, so we've seen lots of ways to move and copy, and I want to show you just one more here. This is kind of a really cool shortcut that you might want to be aware of here. I'm going to go ahead and put in the auto sum here to copy. Now, my favorite way right now would be to use the fill handle just to drag down all the way down. Now, if you've seen my video on the loan amortization schedule, we have 360 rows that we're copying, and that's way too much to drag down. Here's the cool thing about Excel. If I just go to the fill handle, the bottom right hand corner of the formula I want to copy, and I double click, it'll copy all the way down until it sees a different formula. And it sees a different formula for the total, and now I have my grand total of 9,196. Let's go ahead and put the word total here just so we understand what it is. Now, the title of this video is The Best Way to Move and Copy. You have now seen several different ways to move and copy both cells and data. Important concept: when you copy formulas, they adjust to their new home. That's what makes Excel so powerful. But what is the best way? What is the best way to move and copy? Well, hopefully you didn't wait all the way through the end of this video to find that. Hopefully you found one, because that's the answer. The best one is the one that you like the best. And of course, when you're just learning, the one you can remember. If your hands are on the keyboard, then using the keyboard is a wonderful way to move and copy. Ctrl+X to cut, Ctrl+C to copy, and Ctrl+V to paste. If your hands are on the mouse, it is very efficient and productive to use the mouse. Okay, that's it for this video. Please tune in to my other videos. If you like this video, please like it, consider subscribing, and remember that you can find additional videos, additional step-by-step instructions on my webpage, luthermaddy.com. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video.